Welcome. This is my favorite mortgage podcast. We are coming to you into our third year of doing this fabulous real estate podcast. My name is Jaimie Booth. I'm a licensed loan officer here in the wonderful state of Arizona. And today we have our first guest of 2025, John Wilfert, Realtor, entrepreneur, and best known as Coach John. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yes, I'm excited to hear all the wonderful things we have to say today.
Yeah. So this is a podcast. I'm not going to say newer because, 3 years of doing this. We are in, maybe episode 75 of podcasts, and it has been such an amazing experience being able to have guests on, being able to talk about our passions, real estate, loans, all things, getting buyers into homes.
That is exciting. Anytime you can get buyers into homes, the American dream is what everybody wants. It's exciting. But I'll tell you, 3 years, Jaimie, that's a long time. That's over 1,000 days. And they say you actually start to become a professional after a while. So you got to be getting close.
I got to be getting close. But before we get into our show, because I always like to bring on guests and get to know them a little better. So are you up to playing a game?
I am up to playing any game you got, and I'm sure you probably already know me. We've had a few meetings before this, but let's play the game. Let's play. Here we go.
Let's play Get to Know Coach John.
Coach John, Realtor. Yes, real estate.
We're going to play a game called This or That.
This or that. Okay, so my options are this or my options are that. Okay, I got it.
He's a bright one, guys. He's bright.
I'm really bright when it comes to this or that. I hope I'm as smart in real estate, but we'll see.
All right. Pancakes or waffles?
I'm going with the waffles. A little more texture, a little bit more holy sometimes. I'm just going to go with the waffle.
The waffle. Calling or texting?
Well, I'd say if it's going to be a long conversation and it's going to be in depth, definitely a call. But if it's going to be quick and easy and simple, I'll go with the text. But prefer calling.
Calling. Yeah. Me
too.
too.
I'm old school in that regard. So I'd rather feel the emotion, feel the excitement. Boy, there's nothing more exciting when you get to tell the buyer, hey, we got you that house. I don't want to call and I don't want to text them and go, hey, congratulations. I want to call so I can feel the emotion, thrive of them being able to say yes.
That's why we do it.
That's exactly why we do it.
Dog or cat?
I'm going to vote for fish because I don't want to have to clean up after either one, and I travel a lot. So I'm going to go for the fish because you know what? They just swim around in circles.
Yeah.
So, no, but I'd say dog.
Hot coffee or iced coffee?
Well, considering I don't drink coffee at all, I drink zero.
Coffee or tea then?
I don't even drink tea. You're only talking to a guy that drinks water, smoothies, and fresh squeezed juice. That's it. That's the only drinks I drink. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink anything else. So
you're missing out.
I'm missing out.
Coffee.
I know. Coffee has caffeine. Caffeine's one of the most addictive drugs there is. So I stay away from it. But I guess if I were to choose one, I'd probably have to go the tea route.
Tea. All right. Last one. VA or conventional?
Wow. Whatever works best for the client is my answer on that. So
PC.
Personal
so
choice.
You have two offers coming in, and it's on one of your listings, and you have the same numbers, VA, conventional. This is just to get to know you. What would you prefer?
Well, obviously, I've been down this path many, many times. Conventionals are easier to get through, so you don't have to worry about the fascia around the outside as much. There's a lot of other things that you don't have to kind of work about, but it's whatever's best for the client. To me, it's about the client. It's not about me, but I'll tell you this. I'll tell you a story. So back in 2022 when rates were 3.5% and things were, the glory days, yes. And everybody was going crazy. And I had, I'm a flipper, so I had a bunch of houses on the market. And I had one particular house up in Oro Valley, and we received 12 offers.
Holy cow.
12 offers, yes, on the house. And I know it was probably a little bit underpriced, and we were just selling it and everything. But so I reached out to each agent, and I said, I want a personal story from your client to decide what I want to do with this house so that I could make a good informed decision. Because it was, obviously we're in the business to make money, and we need to do that, but we're also in the business of helping people. And we also, I have a compassionate side. Obviously, you think, logic with your head, but you feel the emotion with your heart. So I reached out to all 12 of the realtors, and I said, hey, I would like you to tell me a little bit about your client and have them send me a little brief story about them.
Isn't that not allowed anymore?
Not anymore. You're not allowed to do that.
Okay.
I don't know. We did it. I did it. I hope I'm not allowed.
What is it? The buyer's love letter?
Love letter. Yeah, the love letter. So I had one lady that was a nurse, single mom, 3 kids. This was a 4-bedroom house up in Oro Valley. And she had been working night graveyards and just trying to save enough money, just trying to get her kids through and everything. And she wasn't quite she didn't overbid. We had some that were obviously much higher bids, and most realtors probably would have just taken the higher, best and highest offer. But we really felt like compelled to help this lady. She had been through, and the agent told me that they had been looking at probably 12 or 14 houses that they had tried to put offers in on. And during that time, there was so many people that had cash. There was so many people that were 3.5% interest rates. People were either buying them cash and they weren't paying any, or they were getting a great interest rate and they could afford it, and they were just, so it was really difficult for this single mom. And so we probably undersold it quite a bit, but we felt really good about it. So
that's a great story.
Yeah, it was just imagine, thinking about being able to help one particular individual.
She'll never forget it.
She'll never forget it. And I remember I was in college education for a long time, and I had a professor one time which was teaching with me. I used to teach too, and they used to tell me this story about you can change lives one life at a time. And in regards to that, we were one time walking on the beach, and we were picking up. The tide had come in and washed all these seashells up on the beach, and there was thousands and thousands of seashells on the side of the beach. And I was walking with
Were they she-shells?
She-shells, yes, exactly. And so we started picking them up and throwing them back. And I was with. I would
have taken them home.
I know, but there was thousands. I don't know if there was millions, but there was at least thousands. So we were throwing them back, and the person I was with said, "Hey, you know what? There's too many of us to throw all these back." And you know what I said? I said, "Yeah, you're right." But I picked one up and I showed it to him, and then I threw it back in. I said, "You know what? You're changing that person's life because you're getting them back in the water where they can live. You can't save them all, but as you go through it and you throw back one at a time and you just keep throwing them back, you're saving lives one at a time." And the same thing with houses. You may not be able to sell all the houses in the world, but you're going to change and affect that one person's life.
Yes, that's really powerful. I have a question for you.
I'm in trouble now.
No, but do you think that the egg shortage is just a ploy so we don't egg Cybertrucks?
Maybe. I don't know. You come up with some crazy questions. Was the toilet paper shortage real? I can tell you this. I watched 2 ladies when COVID was going on duke it out and pull each other's hair over the last rolls of toilet to grab the last rolls of toilet paper.
I'm telling you, the egg shortage is so we don't go and throw them at the Cybertrucks.
Okay.
I totally got him off topic, didn't I?
I will buy that. Yeah, you brought me back, Jaimie. You brought me back.
From the abyss of the shore that came up. The
seashell shore of me walking on the beach, enjoying the sunset, enjoying my walk, throwing the shells back into the ocean with the wonderful sunset going on. Yes, bring me back to reality, Jaimie. Thank you.
Oh, my gosh. You know what? Speaking of sun, stop it. I just got back from Cabo.
I know.
This week,
I saw. I stalk you and your husband both on the internet. So I see.
On the Instagram.
TikTok. Yep. By the way, if you don't know, Jaimie is TikTok queen. So if you ever want to know anything about TikTok, just call 1-800-JAIMIE.
There you go. Booth. Jaimie Booth.
Jaimie Booth. And by the way, it's Jaimie, Jaimie. So just so you know.
Yeah, I get emails only half the time.
Yes. I was fortunate this
blame
year.
my
She
dad.
put out a thing saying that she would work with 20 realtors this year. So ever since she did that, I've been bugging her every day to be one of those 20, and I'm trying to work my way in. So far I'm on the JV team, but eventually I'm going to move up to the varsity at some point.
There you go. Oh my gosh. Coach John.
Coach John Real Estate. Don't forget that. We want to brand that into people's minds, Coach John.
So let me tell you, you just kind of touched on and mentioned 411.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about this part of the real estate venture that you do.
411housinghelp.com. And we have obviously an Instagram, Facebook, we have a website, all that. 411 Housing Help was started, it's kind of like the Angie's List for Tucson. Unfortunately, we don't reach outside of Tucson, but we're there to kind of help the person that's looking for, help on their house. Maybe they need some yard work done, or maybe they need some electrical work done, or HVAC. I had one of clients call me the other day, and they had 3 things that they needed done on their house. They needed some HVAC work done, they needed a little bit of plumbing work, and they needed I forget what the third thing was, but they needed something else done. So they called and got 3 different quotes from somebody, and it turned out to be like $3,600.
That is like an Angie's List.
Yeah, and so they called me and they said, "Hey, can you have somebody?" So we said that's more of a handyman type of thing, and so we ended up sending them a handyman that could do all 3. And instead of them paying $3,600, they ended up paying like about $700. So they were obviously quite happy about that. But the reason 411 Housing Help was started was because it actually had an effect on me. I flip houses, and I use a lot of different contractors and people like that. And so we had hired a company to do our pool. And we got a reference and everything like that, and we thought they were reputable and all that. So we gave them a down deposit. I think it was like $10,000, and it was like we were going to do this $40,000 or $50,000 pool at one of our houses, and then the next thing we know, we never hear from them again. They had just exited town, disappeared, and took our money, and it turns out that there was at least 6 or 7 other people that we knew of they skated town on. So obviously we went to the Better Business Bureau, we filed, and we did some stuff like that. And my guys that work for me are really exceptional, and we have a bunch of contacts, obviously. So we were able to track them down, and we were able to get our money back. We were very extremely lucky
and rare,
and very rare. And most of the people did not. So that's when I kind of started thinking, you know what? There's a lot of people in the same boat that are calling people that maybe they don't even know,
or they're finding them on Facebook.
Or
like I need a recommendation for a landscaper, and then people will just put up whoever.
Right.
So this 411 Housing Help.
So we kind of vest people. If people want, if they're business owners and they want to have us help promote them or whatever, we'll go and we'll interview them. We'll talk to them. We'll see kind of a little bit about them, and then that way we have a little bit more credibility, so that when we do recommend somebody, we know they're not going to be a fly by the seat of their pants and just disappear. And because that's so frustrating for people, and it's really frustrating for a person that's really is struggling, that's trying to get work done on their house, and they just don't have the means to pay thousands and thousands of dollars, because houses are expensive and they require a lot of maintenance and upkeep to keep them in the condition that you want. So you constantly need a little bit of sometimes it's even about changing light bulbs out and doing things like this. We get a lot of calls from senior citizens that really aren't able to do a lot. They're not physically able to so they may need
change the smoke
detector. The batteries were going. I had a call the other day. The batteries were going off, and on somebody's house, and the lady called and said, "Hey, I took the batteries out and it's still beeping." Well, the newer smoke alarms are now programmed through electricity, so you have to go wired and you have to go to the breaker and all that. So a lot of times we'll get we'll send somebody out and they can fix the problem pretty quickly or simply for a small fee and everything else like that.
So it's a good resource for anything housing. Through your long career, you've gathered contacts, and you're willing to share that.
Yeah, we do. We share that contacts, and we do it. We obviously charge a small fee for it, But
so does Angie's List.
Yeah, so does Angie's. So does everybody, obviously.
Right. No free lunch.
There's not a free lunch out there, but I'm accredited realtor, so obviously I have to make sure that everything that we do is on the up and up, and everything is legit, and we stand behind what we do and things like that. So we want to just help people. That's really what it's about, is being able to give them a positive resource that they can use to get their work done.
Nice. So 411housinghelp.com. That's where you have this mini version for Tucson, Pima County. Mm-hmm. Coach John also likes to dabble in food and health and stuff. Tell us about your smoothie shop.
Oh, yes. Food and health. Yes. My first passion, I guess, besides housing and helping people buy and sell houses, is health and fitness. And so I own a few different health and fitness stores. Here in Tucson, it's called Fit and Delicious to Go. And we do smoothies, protein smoothies. We do regular smoothies, all fruit smoothies. And we also do acai bowls, which is very, very popular down here in the South. Lots of people love acai bowls. Some of our other locations do juicing and snacks and other things, but here in Tucson we do. We also have healthy snacks, and we also sell supplements as well too.
And what's the name of the company?
Fit and Delicious to Go.
And how many locations do you have?
We have one right now. We had two. Unfortunately, one of the buildings at the University of Arizona is being built, and so they shut us down they shut the whole complex down for a while. But so we just have one right now. We have one on First Avenue. It's 4246 North First Avenue, which is Wetmore and First.
So, guys, if you are listening to this, you want to go in for an acai
bowl. She said it right.
A smoothie. Yes. Just mention that you listen to this podcast, My Favorite Mortgage Podcast, and you get a free
smoothie. How about that? We'll give away a free smoothie for anybody that wants to come in and mention this podcast and just say Coach John Realtor or Real Estate sent you.
There you go, guys. So there's another reason, not just valuable housing information, but you get a free smoothie.
Yeah, we want to help you with everybody's on the kick, especially in January, February, and March.
Oh, yeah.
And the kick of New Year's resolutions and getting in shape. And, there's something to be said about that, too, as well, because I think if you can take care of your health and you can feel better, you're going to be able to have more effect in life, too, and be able to do more things, too. So we strongly encourage people to live a healthier, happier life.
Speaking of happier lives, we were chatting about Cabo, and yes. I love traveling. But I was kind of picking your brain on travel. What is one of your pet peeves when traveling on an airplane?
Oh, good question. Pet peeves of traveling on an airplane.
Yes.
I would say this, when I'm...
Just one.
Just one. Okay.
Your biggest pet peeve.
My biggest pet peeve. I'm 6'5", blue eyes, and work out. So I don't know.
And he's in finance.
And I'm in finance. Yes. No, I'm in real estate. But I am 6'5". I'm I'm a big guy. So I spend some time in the gym and I work out. I go and get on the plane, and I'm in the middle seat, and there's always three of us that are all 6'5", big guys. And so we have this, you lean forward, I lean back type of thing, so our shoulders don't, because we can't mash our shoulders all together.
Oh my gosh, you're right. I never thought of
that. No, most people don't think about that. So, and
Who gets the armrests?
None of us, because one of us has to lean forward, one of us has to lean. So it's like musical chairs. When one guy wants to move, then the other two have to alternate too.
Oh my gosh, like a zipper almost.
Yeah. So yeah. You're interwoven is really what it is. You're interwoven because one guy moves back, the other guy has to move forward. So every time you move, you cause the other two to move. So
that's hilarious. Yeah, I'm going to have to pay attention next time and look for the tall heads.
So that's probably my pet peeve, like I said. So if you see three guys moving in synchronization, like synchronized swimming, it's because they're trying to align their shoulders and their broad shoulders because they're big guys. So that's probably my pet peeve. Or I would also say, I'm 6'5", obviously. The 5'4" girl or guy that's sitting in the exit aisles that can't even touch the ground with their feet, and they're taking up all that space. So that's maybe that's a close second.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I always end up with the three guys across the aisle, and we're all 6'5", and we're all 200 plus.
Because you don't pay for your seat, and you just wait for the airline to assign you. Just pay the $25 and get an aisle
I do
seat.
sometimes, and I still end up with it. So it doesn't work like that.
Mine is bare feet.
Oh yeah. Germs on the plane.
It is my biggest pet peeve when someone has taken off their shoes and their socks and it's bare feet. Do you know how disgusting those floors are?
Are you more upset about the bare feet, or are you more upset about the smell that they cause sitting next to them?
It's just the bare feet.
Okay. All right.
I mean, now if someone had stinky feet too, I would ask to be moved. No.
Jaimie would voice her opinion on that one.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I would just take a nap and be like, hopefully it's get us over with.
Yeah, bare feet. The guy that jumps up as soon as the plane and the seatbelt goes off, and he's jumping up and he's getting all the luggage. I'm like, you're in row 29.
Yeah, you're not going to beat anybody
Just
out of the
sit
plane.
down.
It's okay. Relax. You're going to be fine. You're getting off at the same time everybody else is getting off, so you're going to be all right.
So when we were flying back home, I knew we were having this podcast, so I'm like, okay, what are some of the things that annoy me, but I never really paid attention that they annoyed me. So,
did you ask the husband? What did he say?
I didn't.
Oh.
I need to just get him on the podcast.
Why don't you? How come you haven't got him on the podcast?
Oh, he's a very busy man, and he works construction, so their hours are super early, and
But podcasts can be set up at 10 o'clock at night.
They could.
Midnight. And the setup you got here is amazing. You could just bring her down to the station, and here you go.
I'll ask him this evening.
All right.
But before we go, one last brain teaser. Why did kamikaze pilots even wear helmets?
That's a good question, I guess. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to make a guess. Why bother? Because you know what? And other than they have that little black box sometimes, and they try to protect that. So I'm going to guess they wanted to protect the brain so they could see what it was going through at the end there. Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know.
Just
I have
life's mysteries, right?
Life's mysteries, yes. Why do interest rates go up and down so much, and why can't we get them back to 3.5%, Jaimie, is what I want to know. Okay, life's mysteries. You're the expert, please explain.
I know how. We have to have bad shit happen. I'm sorry. But that's the only way. Like, I don't know, COVID. It took millions of people dying to get a low interest rate. So we have to have something really bad happen. So on the flip side, do we really want something catastrophic to happen? No, not really. No. So there's ways to lower your interest rate. Just buy the interest rate down, refinance later. There's ways to make it affordable, but I don't want to see a 2% interest rate. That means that we're in some shit.
And I guarantee I don't think you're going to see another 2% interest rate, Jaimie, in your lifetime. So,
you heard John's guarantee. Coach John guaranteed it. Do not wait anymore. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. I mean, we were in the sevens. Now we're at 6.8, I think, today or something like that. We're pretty close. But
honestly, let's see where we're at today.
She'll look it up. As she's looking that up, we were the same thing in 2000.
We're actually 6.79.
Ooh, 6 points.
Mortgage rates finally stopped moving lower, but just barely. Mortgage rates have actually moved lower over the last week or so. Inflation report came out. We're not doing the best on the stock market wise. So when shit starts going bad, that's when we see lower interest rates.
Yeah, so I know people always wait, and they're like, hey, I want to wait for the rate to go down. But what people don't understand is when the rates go down, every time the rates go down a half a point, there's like 5 million new people that come into the market. So supply and demand drives prices up. Yeah. So, everybody thinks, I'm just going to wait for the rates to go down, and that's wonderful. But you end up giving up a lot. Seller concessions, which no longer becomes a thing because you can't negotiate because rates are so low and people start overbidding.
You have 12 offers on
You have 12 offers. I will tell you you this. I had a young kid I was helping, and it was during that time, and I had taken him to 33 houses, and we had bid on 32 of them, and we had bid over $5,000 minimum over on every house. We never were able to get him the house because he kept getting overbid, and people would come in and constantly overbid and overbid and overbid. Finally, on the 33rd house, we got it locked in, and that's when rates went up, and then he didn't qualify anymore. So after 33, at that point,
sucks.
I realized, I was like, man, this is really devastating, and I started going, what can I do? And so I actually went out and started doing a lot more wholesaling and finding other houses and doing off-market properties, so that when people have needs, and sometimes I have off-market properties now that we have kind of a bunch of us investors and people in Tucson that have properties that sometimes, we're in the process of working on. So sometimes there's people out there that either can't qualify and things change, or sometimes things just are not quite lined up. The stars aren't lined up the way they're supposed to be lined up. And so sometimes we'll have off-market properties that we can try to help people with too as well. So, it's just, you get into mainstream and everybody's always about the dollar, and sometimes they don't realize it's more about individuals and trying to help people sometimes. I mean, everybody needs to make money, but it's also about caring and having some compassion for people and trying to help them find the right house. Because, I mean, that is, for most people, unless you're buying a business, that's probably your largest purchase that you're going to make.
It's a very large investment, and there's so much information out there that you probably get wrong information. So, guys, if you're listening to this and you would like some information, please don't hesitate to reach out. Coach John is a valuable resource here in Pima County. He can help with creative stuff while I do the, getting you prepared for the normal, regular stuff. You can find him by reaching out to us, like, share, and comment on this video. Share with anyone you know, but please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us on all major platforms, and John Wilfert's information will be provided below. That was fast. That was over half an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Jaimie, you just lured the audience in. I'm telling you, I got sucked right into it.
We'll have to bring you back on for
I guess
another
I didn't even
one.
get to talk about all the cool real estate things, but I guess we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, we'll just have to have you on again. We are doing an open house on Sunday, so you are more than welcome to visit us at your listing.
At 2750 East Australia, which is Australia Street here in Tucson, Arizona, which is just basically Glen and First Avenue. So right there in central Tucson.
So stop by and see us on Sunday. My name is Jaimie Booth. You're listening to My Favorite Mortgage podcast. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any more valuable information about buying and selling homes in Southern Arizona. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day. God bless.